How do you know how much you need to invest to retire? How do I figure out if I can retire early? Okay, so hard. It is very hard to answer that question. How do you know how much you need to invest, right? So the first step, if you go to my website, firesession.com/resources, I have my financial independence checklist. The very first step is to know your FIRE number, so financial independence number. So financial independence number would be your total expenses multiplied by 25. And I also do the multiply by 3 for the cash reserve. It's either 2 or 3. I always do 3. So let's say your annual expenses in your retirement is going to be, if it's like $50,000 a year and you multiply by 25, then you would need $1.25 million invested. So you can withdraw 4% out of that 1.25 million, and assuming that the market does 7%, 8% annually, if you have like your allocations, let's say 90% stocks, 10% bonds, or something like that, theoretically speaking, that the portfolio should last, right? Now, I also add 3 to it because 50,000 multiplied by 3 years, that would be $150,000. Now, depending on how many streams of income you have, you could probably get away with just 2 years, right? Why 2 years? The longest recession that we had, as recent as 2008, 2009, that was about 19 months, right? So if you have a market downturn for 19 straight months, you don't want to pull money out of your portfolio at a loss, right? So you want to have that cash reserve on the side. And that's my FIRE plan, is to use my cash to pay for my expenses in my early retirement. And when the market goes back up, then I'm going to sell my investments and live on that and put and replenish my cash reserve. Okay. That makes sense so far? Now, I'm going to pull up the financial independence calculator here. Okay, so this is what I call the FIRE calculator, and you can download it for free by visiting firesession.com/resources. And if you want to schedule a session with me, the first one with me is going to be free at firesession.com/coaching. So this is really, really easy to do. And it is a kind of give you an idea of how much you need to invest so that you can retire early, right? So you can put your birthday. I guess a previous person put September 1st, 1990. Cool. So I'll put 1990 and you're 34 years old. And today's date, it automatically calculates what today's date is. And let's say you want to retire by 55. You want to retire early. Now check this out. At the bottom of it, the 55, it's going to be visible. And I'm going to explain to you how that works. And I don't want to take too much of the time, but because there's already a video about this. And when you're 55 and you have 21 years until you hit your desired retirement age. So if you say you want to retire by 60, you put 60 on there and it's going to calculate 26 years. You want to retire by 50, okay? Then you have the 16-year time horizon. That's really, really important, right? So let's just go with 55. So if you have 55, on the right side, you want to put your current annual expenses. I'm going to go with today's dollars, right? So today's dollars, you can count either with mortgage or without the mortgage. And I'm going to say without the mortgage, that's the ideal situation by the time you retire early, is having $50,000 in your annual expenses. So you can put the annual inflation rate. Despite what happened in 2022, you can just put 2.5%. You can put 3% if you want to. I'm just going to put 2.5%. So my annual expenses here, I'm going to draw it here, right there where it says 76,000. That is adjusted by inflation in 21 years. That's where the calculator comes in really handy, so that you understand that, okay, I'm planning for 50,000, but I'm retiring in the year 2045 with the annual average inflation rate at 2.5%, roughly that's going to be increased to 76,250, right? You can always be conservative or you can be more aggressive. It's really up to you. You can play around with the numbers, okay? Now, on the left-hand side, where it says additional annual income, so additional income sources. You could be someone who wants to live on dividend income. You can put that on there too. I know a lot of you guys watching my channel are a fan of real estate. So if you have real estate invested, you can put what your net income is going to be, not your gross income. It needs to be your net income after all the expenses. So if you put, let's say, I'm going to make $20,000 a year in real estate income. Now your FIRE number gets reduced because you have income coming in from real estate, or maybe from Social Security, right? But this is blacked out. This spreadsheet is awesome because it automatically blacks out because you put your desired retirement age at 55 and you can't collect Social Security until you're 62 as of right now, but that's going to be increased later on down the year. But you can always put like other income sources, like if you're a federal employee getting a federal pension, if you're a veteran or a military retiree, you can put military retirement pension or put your VA disability on there. And that's going to reduce your FIRE number. Okay. So what do you think is better? Investing $500 a month, making 10% return, or investing $1,000 a month, making a 7% return on investment? You can't figure out how much you can invest without a budget. There's no way around it. I personally tested out the budgeting app called YNAB, and it's not just an app that can track your income and expenses, but it can even help you create a plan to pay down your student loans, car loans, personal loans, or credit cards faster. So if you're ready to change your life by getting out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle, you can get a free trial without any credit card information by using the link in the description below. Now, on the right side is what your total investments are currently. So total retirement excluding IRAs, and your total non-retirement accounts. So that would be your taxable investments. And then traditional IRA and Roth IRA will be another part of it, because IRAs have different rules from the 401k or TSP, right? And this is where you can put what you expect the average annual return is going to be. The S&P 500 for the last 10 years is about 12%, but I would be more on the conservative side and just go with 8%. You can even go down as low as 6% modestly, right? And then I'm going to leave the numbers where it is, but in the middle here, you see what right here, annual expenses multiplied by 25 and annual expenses multiplied by 2. I teach people 3 if you're a fat FIRE, but 2 if you're going to be lean FIRE, or if you're going to be in the traditional FIRE. If you don't know what those are, just look it up on my YouTube page. Now, this is where it says today's dollars is going to be $750,000 because you have real estate income of $20,000 and you're going to need $750,000 in investment. Okay, let me delete that. Let me go to 0. Now it's going to turn into 1.25 million, right? That's pretty neat. Do you see that? It says $1.5 million will be changed because I deleted real estate net income. It's pretty neat. I've been using it, and we use it every single year to update our FIRE number to adjust for inflation. But anyway, on the left-hand side, it says FIRE cash reserve. That is exactly what it means, is that you want to have cash reserve set aside 12 months, 18 months. Some people want 24 months. I want 36 months because I am pursuing fat FIRE, right? Fat FIRE at a minimum, you need 2.5 million invested. And you could have, I don't know, like additional $300,000 in cash if you want to. Now, on the right side, this is where it's going to tell you how much you need to invest every year to get there and how much you need to invest every single month to get there. Now, let me put the caveat on this, okay? I want to make sure that you're aware that numbers do change. So you need to update your FIRE number every single year based on your inflation and your updated expenses. You can't know for sure what your FIRE number is going to be unless you do a budget. Millionaires budget, they do. All right, billionaires probably hire someone else to do it, but millionaires, multimillionaires, they still budget because they know how much money is coming in, how much money is going out. We automate our savings completely. So if you tell me that it is completely impossible for you to save, and I'm giving you all these free tools to do, I don't know what else to tell you, right? But there's so many tools that you can download on my website. And get that FIRE calculator, start playing around with it. Give me some feedback. And you're like, this, I kind of wish that you would do a little bit better with the whatever tools. Let me know. I mean, this is version 4, and I can always make version 5, make version 6, right? I'm trying to make things better. But check it out. This is going to be really helpful for you to calculate your FIRE number. That'll be your first step. And then the second step is to get a rainy day fund, have, whatever your insurance deductibles are going to be. And then the next step is to get your 401k up to the employer match and then start paying that high interest debt.